The Earnestly Speaking podcast is a show that is founded on free-flowing conversation and may at times venture into mature subjects. Listener discretion is advised.
Yeah, Earnestly Speaking podcast. Let's get it. I'm a giant in New York, in Miami carry heat. So much more in store, my product can flood the street. Opinion Nation Godfather, CEO. Puff in the late 90s, gon' see me blow. Oh. Got my hustle on, no imitation of bad. Army of untouchables, Opinion Nation staff. Never an off season, homie, check the numbers. Heart throb in my own right, supplying southern comfort. Earnestly speaking, my ego is well fed. Earnestly speaking, you're too evil and no threat. See, I'm like a hurricane, you're a mild breeze. Earnestly speaking, leaving Eli a dynasty. Shake!
Earnestly Speaking podcast. Special episode today. I got my friend, co-worker, and without a doubt, the most diehard Florida Panthers fans on a planet, Matthew Fagan, with us. This has been what, a couple years in the making now for this episode.
Should have did it last year, man. 2 8 seeds, Heat and Panthers in the finals. Yep. That was the spot.
That was the spot to do it. Although I'll be honest, that would have been cool, honestly. But given the fact that now your team has actually done it, they climbed the mountain.
Right. You know? Both teams lost last year.
Yeah.
I had to go to the parade by myself. We didn't have that double parade like we wanted.
Yeah, man. God, was so close to. Oh my gosh, can you imagine that? Who was the last team that actually had a parade perpendicular to within the same time frame? Because obviously hockey and basketball run the same time. So that would be in. Was there a Celtics Bruins one maybe?
Yeah.
Was it recent? It can be recent because was all the year that
2011, I think.
No, it could be 11.
No, 2011 was the last time Boston won the cup.
Yeah, it wasn't 08 then because 08 Celtics won the title and they didn't win the title.
I know they won 2 that year. Maybe the Red Sox or the Patsies won that year to go with the Bruins.
Yeah, but again, that's separated though. That's a couple months separated. The Heat Panthers thing, had that happened last year with those two teams, that would have been possible because those seasons literally ran identical. Like the finals and Stanley Cup literally was played at the same time.
I remember New York in '94. The Rangers won, but the Knicks lost.
Right. Yes, that's the only time they
to the Rockets.
Yeah. So I don't remember seeing a parade being 2 parades being done within the same within days or even the same time. So became close last year, man. But anyway, you are the Florida Panthers Superfan, although you have actually retired.
Yeah, kinda. But they did give me my own number, and I do have all these jerseys that I've gotten over the years. So.
Yeah. Where the hell are you at? Is it like in the dungeon of Panther fandom?
The Panther Den. So like I said, it's like the Bat Cave, except you can't have caves in Florida.
Right, true. So how long you been a Panther fan?
Since expansion, '93. My first jersey is actually over here. Got the idea from Christmas Vacation when Chevy Chase had a 00 Griswold.
Yeah.
So I got that. Wow.
You got that in '93?
I definitely cannot fit in that jersey anymore.
So you were a fan since the Miami Arena years.
Yep. I mean, and here's the proof. That's back when Starter did the jerseys.
Oh my God.
Yeah. That's a starter jersey.
That's definitely early 90s.
That's 93, 93, 94.
Yeah. And the Panthers, they out the gate within 3 years were in the Cup in '96.
When in the final, we lost.
They win the finals, right?
Patrick
Colorado.
F that guy. Still hate that guy.
He's damn good. Did you ever think it would take that long after '96?
Nope.
Even sniff another Stanley Cup. Forget the fact of winning it. This is an appearance in general.
I mean, those '90s Panther teams, they weren't as skilled as some of the others, but they were mean. They were physical. They got off to like I'm trying to remember the following year. They got off to an 8-0-4 start. They were threatening the NHL record for longest undefeated start. They didn't
97?
get there. They were a little short in 97, saying that was no fluke. But we kind of ran into Gretzky and the Rangers in the first round, and
It's my team.
And then they ran into the Devils, and they ended up winning the Cup. So
you're right. Yeah. Oh God, don't remind me of that. And that Rangers team, they left a few on the table. I know they won '94, but they left a few on the table. They could have won at least another one in the late '90s with Gretzky at the helm. But it is what it is there.
I'm just saying, I disagree. It's about goaltending at that point, and Mike Richter was already over the hill.
Yeah,
I mean, Gretzky needed to come in like 92, 93. That would have been the spot. That Ranger team would have owned.
And I'll be honest with you, I would have I was a lot more hardcore about the NHL back in the late '90s, especially too. I remember I had Blades of Steel, the video game for my one of my consoles. So that drove my fandom in the mid '90s into late '90s. But yeah,
Blades of Steel.
Remember that game? Remember that game? I just love
I remember that game.
The game was so fun.
No.
the fact that the Panthers being between '96 and then. When would you say was the turnaround for this franchise? Because they went. Forget the fact they didn't make it to the Cup. They made it to the finals. The fact that they didn't even a good 20 years, not competitive. Really,
Yeah. We went 15 years between playoff spots. The 1 year we had Pavel Bure. We made the playoffs, and then we didn't make the. No, it wasn't 15 years. We made the playoffs. Didn't make the playoffs again until 2012. So that's more than a decade and not even making the playoffs. And then we didn't make it again until 2016. And then a few more lean years. But the turnaround came in the summer of 2014.
Right.
When we finally got owners. We got ownership that gave a damn. Gave a damn about hockey, gave a damn about winning. And talking about Vinny Viola and Doug Sifu. They bought the team, and that's when things started to change.
Yeah. Because I remember the last 5 years they've been playoff regulars since like 2017, 2018, right? In 2019?
2020.
2020, right? Okay.
Yeah, we made the qualifying round because of COVID. They added a few extra teams. We would have made the regular playoff field anyway. At the time, there was 10 games left. We were 3 points out of a wild card. No, not. We were 3 points out of third place in the Atlantic, with 2 games in hand on Toronto, and we were playing our best hockey. So. Even had I been allowed to play out, we would have made the playoffs anyway.
Right.
But who knows what would have happened.
And, of course, the President's Cup in 2022, right?
Oh, that thing's cursed.
Oh, my God. What
I remember on the last day, I was actually rooting for us to lose and for Colorado to win their last game so Colorado would get it.
What's the stat now? Only 2 teams that won the President's Cup in the last 27 years?
No, it's 8. It's 8 of the last 31.
Okay.
So in 31 years.
But there's also a small number where only 2 in the last 20-something years.
Yes. I'm trying to remember the last team that won it. It was the Blackhawks, I think, in 2015 when they won the 3 Cups in 6 years. I think it was that 2015 team. They won the President's Trophy, and then they went on to win the Cup. And I think that was the last one to do it.
And then you had the 23 team after, the year after the President's Cup team, the 23 team that went to the Stanley Cup. They got injuries.
A healthy Panther team against a cap-compliant Vegas team, Panthers in 6.
Really?
They would have won that series. Yep. It's hard when half your starters are out and Vegas is $20 million over the cap.
Yeah, I think the fun part about that that run though, like me being a diehard Heat fan, and both teams in the same market, cheering each other on. Both fan bases, there's one night, Panthers play one night, Heat play another night, both in the same spot, 8 seeds, and both franchises show a lot of respect for each other and whatnot, and then both teams getting through similar situations. Both teams beating Boston at some point in the playoffs, also too.
Yes, both teams knocked out Boston. That was fun.
That was a fun part. You guys beating the Bruins. Weren't you guys down that series too? Also, and came back and won, or
we were down 3-1.
Right. So we
3-1. We won 3 in a row.
Right, and we were up
2 in Boston.
Yeah, and we were up 3-0 in the conference finals against the Celtics, and then we nearly blew it. But then we took care of business on Game 7, obviously.
Right.
That was so much fun too, because the energy in the city at that time. Because Florida sports, and you and I have been sports fans in this market for a long time. there's far and few seasons where you get almost all 4 teams where this positive synergy. I think 96 was the closest time we had that, where in 96 the Heat were building to become a contender. Panthers go to Stanley Cup Finals. The Dolphins are pretty good. The Marlins were a year away.
The Marlins were the only piece missing. They were 1 year later when Wayne Huizenga spent all that money. That was 97.
Correct. They won the World Series 97. So we haven't had many moments in this market where most of all the teams in the market or have a really positive synergy. And last year, seeing the Heat and the Panthers, get to the finals in both their leagues, so much fun. So much fun. Mm-hmm. You're right. We said that on the podcast last year.
Yeah, wish they ended a little different, but Panthers were hurt, and the Heat ran into a freaking wall.
Jokic
with that Nuggets team,
right? And then
they just couldn't lose.
And then last year, 24, the Panthers finally do it. They legendary run. Even beat my team, the Rangers, in the conference finals. But I even though I picked the Rangers in 6 before that series started.
No, you didn't. You picked Panthers in 5. Let's be real with your audience. You said Panthers in 5, and I said, "Nah, they'll win another game. Panthers in 6."
No. So Rangers. So we started Rangers in 6. Game 1 happens, they lose. I said Panthers in 5. And then and Matt, remember we went up 2-1 in that series, and I remember telling you, I don't feel good about the series. I think we'll lose that series because.
I remember telling you, I hope you enjoyed that game, my friend, because it's your last win of the season.
There's no way in hell we'd be able to be outshot like this and still win games like that. There's no way in hell.
Right.
The math wasn't mathing. You know what I'm saying?
Nope.
So, at that point,
Shesterkin kept you guys in it. It's the only reason it wasn't a sweep.
Yeah, exactly. And then of course, the Stanley Cup Finals, of course, I guess Edmonton. Being up 3-0 and thinking, okay, this is over, and then oh my god,
nope. I did not think, because everybody was coming up. They're like, congratulations, yeah, they won the cup. I said, not. We win one more. It's over when we get to 16 wins, not 15.
Yeah.
And then we lost, and then we lost again, and then we lost again.
And the worst was to travel back and forth to Edmonton. Insane, but they didn't in 7.
Yeah, we only lost the one home game. That was in Game 5, and we spotted them a 3-0 lead and almost came back on them. So I was like, at home we'll be okay.
Yeah.
So thankfully we had home ice in that series.
It was so fitting that because you've been a super fan for the team, and you wear the cape and all that. You were doing it for what 15
25 years.
25 years.
25.
You said
98, 99 was my first year.
Right. You said that last year was your final season doing this.
Yeah, I came to that decision during All-Star weekend the previous season when the All-Star game was here in February 23. I said, all right, the renewals are up already. And I'm just like, I'm pushing 50. How long can I really keep doing this? And I'm like, all right, I'll renew. But that 25th year is going to be it.
Yeah,
the 23-24 season.
Do you want to share why you decided to stop doing it?
I can't do a lot of the stuff I used to. I've heard like people, chirping at me on social media that you just sit there and you only do stuff when you're on camera. And I'm like, I used to like run up and down the staircases, making like flying sounds and stuff, just going crazy. But you get older, your knees and your back, you're like, yeah, you need to sit down, buddy.
Yeah. We're not getting younger.
You're 48, not 28.
That's true. We're not getting any younger, brother. I totally get it, man. But it's so fitting though that the final game, which I believe is the final game, as Superfan, ends up being the one game that gets you guys over the top. I mean, how special was that, man?
I was on pins all day, but I had already put it out. I'm like, hey, win or lose, this is it. So I'm gonna leave it. Just everything I got, my voice, my energy. I'm leaving it all in the stands.
I remember,
tonight.
I remember being so happy for you, man. I remember after that game being so happy for you, like, because I know Panther fans, and a lot in my life. They ain't you though. They ain't you. The dedication you put in that franchise. Let me ask you a question. Why are you so passionate about the team?
Well, long story. I don't have it anymore. I lost it when I moved back in 2005, right after I got married. My first cape was a beach towel. a Florida Panthers beach towel.
Okay.
And I had won it at a game. So just as a joke, I like put it on word like a cape and like, look, I'm Superfan. And I just start going, whoosh, around it. And everybody had fun with it. And it was like, haha. But that's right around the time the team went into a tailspin. Ownership just didn't care. They kept hiring, retreads. They drafted bad. And the team was just so bad for so long. Mm-hmm. And that was right at the start of it. The arena started to get empty. And I was legit afraid we were going to lose our team. And I was just thinking I had to do something about it, but I'm one guy.
Yeah.
What can one guy do? And I'm a big fan of Batman. And I remember that part in the comics, in one of the old comics, when he said, well, what can a man do? Not much, but a symbol that people can see, that could really move people. So I decided it wouldn't be a joke. I would wear the cape and I would be Superfan for real. And I would go down there and I would just give it my all, yell, scream, get into the game and show people that, what they say about us up north, that we don't have real fans and we don't understand hockey. I never believed that. And that packed arena we had in the 90s when they went to the final, I'm like, that's the real fan base. They just kind of forgot about it,
Yeah.
So I wanted to bring that back.
And that whole narrative about no fans in this market is not just in hockey either. We get that with basketball with the Heat. We get that.
Yeah, the Marlins get it. The Dolphins get it too.
The Canes get it really bad too. Also, especially in college football. But there is a fan base here. I mean, it may not be as like rabid as the northern teams, but here's the thing: I always tell folks, there's more to do here in Florida than there was up north.
Yeah, but and something else I hear about fans down here, they say they only come out when they're winning, but they don't have to be winning necessarily. Because I look at what the Heat did since they brought in Pat Riley.
Yeah,
and the Heat. Whoops, I almost dropped it.
Sorry.
Whoa, my phone just went crazy.
Oh, you're good.
There we go. Now we're back.
Yep.
The Heat, they bring in Pat Riley.
Yep.
And in all that time, they've won 3 championships.
Yep.
Which, but the Heat are in the discussion. They're in the running every year.
Yeah. And
they've sold out like 95% plus.
Yeah. In
that big old arena. I still call it the AAA.
I do too.
But the fans just think you have to have a chance, that they're not just going to be, the other teams are going to come in and like run them out of the rink every day.
Right.
And it was like that for the Panthers for a long time, like 15, 16 years in that stretch where we weren't making the playoffs. The other team would just come in and roll us. And you see it today with the Marlins. I mean, the Marlins basically have no chance no matter who they play. And, well, the fans aren't coming out.
Yeah.
The fans need to believe that ownership and management care and that they're trying. They will come out. You don't have to win a championship, but, you got to be in the conversation, though.
Right.
And the Heat are, and they've done very well.
And I feel like sports fans today, and you and I are close to the same age, you're a little older than I am, but, sports fans today don't necessarily appreciate teams. Like, everything's so black and white now. Like, either you're winning or if you're not winning championship, you're losing. And I feel like the nuances of being a sports fan is kind of gone now, this generation that's under us. Valuing rebuilds, valuing builds, valuing division titles, valuing, just getting to the playoffs in a league that's, and I'll argue that the NHL is the most competitive league of all.
It's definitely got the most parity.
Most parity in all the leagues, especially in the playoffs. So just your team getting into the postseason and then making noise in there,
Yeah,
I think we should be valuing, as sports fans, and I think this generation doesn't appreciate that.
Well, making the playoffs in the NHL is tough.
Yep.
Half the league makes it, but I mean, it's always such a race at the end for that 8 seed, and usually, thankfully, not always, because Panthers in 2023, they won the East out of the 8 seed, but that's very rare. Normally, that 8-7 seed, they just yeah, you made it, but you get stomped typically.
Yeah.
Usually in 4 or 5 games, because we did the reverse of that. We were the 2 seed playing the wild card Lightning, and 5-game stomp. That's typically how it goes in that 1 versus 8, 2 versus 7 matchup. Right. But even still, even if you get stomped like that, I hate saying anything nice about the Lightning, but they've made the playoffs, I think, 8 years in a row now, and they're probably going to make it this year since they signed Gunsel.
Yeah.
I don't expect them to really do anything or go anywhere. They'll be in the playoffs. They're probably a first round out.
Yeah.
Especially if they can't get to third place in their wild card and they play a team like us or the Rangers or the Devils in the first round.
Right. That being said, give me what are your chances? Give me a percentage chance that the Panthers repeat this year.
The best chance any reigning champ has had in a while. I think the last time a reigning champ had a better shot than us was probably those Blackhawks teams in the 2010s. Just because we kept the whole core together. We lost one top 4 defenseman in Brandon Montour. He won his cup. He took the money. He went to Seattle, 7 years, $49 million contract. So good job, Brandon. Get your money. Because he wasn't going to get it here.
Yeah,
he would have been lucky to get 3.5 per year instead of 7 a year in Seattle. Other than that, we lost a few pieces we picked up at this time last year. We lost OEL to Toronto. We lost Stolars to Toronto, the backup goalie. But we've got 2 solid goalies, and we've actually got 3 NHL goalies. One of them's going to have to go to Charlotte next week. It's probably Chris Drieger, going with Bobrovsky and Spencer Knight as our top 2. Spencer Knight had, I'm trying to remember the exact number. I think Tampa had 25 shots tonight. He stopped 24 of them in a 2-1 win against Tampa's starters, against guys like Gunsel and Braden Point and Kucherov. And he played great. So I think he earned the backup spot tonight. So, yeah, I'd say, but even though we have the best chance, I think, I'd put it at about 10%, if I'm being really honest. There's so much parity. And the only thing harder in sports than winning a Stanley Cup is winning 2.
Yeah, you don't see it on repeat. What was the last repeat chat we had? Really, I don't think I remember a repeat chat in a while.
Pittsburgh did it in 2016, 2017. They beat Detroit, and then they beat Nashville the following year.
And before that,
yeah, I know the Lightning, but 2 of them were COVID Cups, so they count. A lot of people say they don't count, but yes, the Lightning did win in 2020 and. In 2020 and 2021. Yeah, they did one, but one of them was a COVID bubble. Come on. I'm talking about a full 82-game season plus playoffs. Yes, the last team to do that was the Penguins in 2016 and 2017.
Right. No, I'm with you on that one. 10%.
But it's really hard.
So I'm staring at the right now the current futures for the for the Stanley Cup, and right now obviously Edmonton, the team you guys beat in 7 games, is the favorite at plus 800. The Panthers now plus 1,000. The Dallas Stars are plus 1,100. The Devils plus 1,200, and the Avalanche plus 1,200. Is that how you feel? What Vegas is saying? Do you feel the same way that those two?
Well, Vegas adjusted it for Edmonton because of all the money that went on Edmonton right after that Game 7. Yep. Edmonton opened up at plus 1,200, I think, and it was down to 900 within 3 days because just everybody was betting on Edmonton because they're like, no, they're so good. They're just, and it's not that they're not good. It's just they had a lot of luck, not against us, but in the second round they played a Vancouver team that was without its top 2 goalies. They were playing a 3rd-string minor league goalie, and they still needed 7 games to get by Vancouver. Dallas outshot the hell out of them in the West Final. They were getting outshot 30-15 most games. But just enough pucks got past the Dallas goaltenders. And I'm blanking on his name right now, and I really shouldn't be. Jake Ottinger. Okay. I blanked on it for a second. Who's a really great goalie, but he just gave up some badly timed games in crucial moments. On paper, Dallas should have blew the doors off him. So I'm a little confused why Edmonton's getting all this love. Because, I mean, the games aren't played on paper, of course, but on paper, they shouldn't have got out of the second round. And I don't expect them to this year.
But they do have the best player in hockey, though. We agree, right?
Yes, but hockey is a team game. More so than any other sport. The team is what counts.
So I feel like that's probably driving the number is the fact that you have Connor McDavid as number one player in all of hockey. So
yeah, but most Stanley Cup champions they've got like a solid top line and then a really good second line and then decent third and fourth lines.
Right.
Edmonton, they got McDavid, they got Draisaitl, but who do they have really after that? I mean, a big reason why we won Game 7 was McDavid was out there for half the game and he was just gassed in the final minutes. I mean, the Panthers were clearing pucks and making it look easy. They played defense. They just sat back. And Connor McDavid looked like he could barely move in the last 5 minutes.
Yeah. I mean, didn't the West Finals
because they didn't have any reliable scoring on those, lower lines that were really a threat.
And didn't they go 7 games also in the West Finals against Dallas as well?
No, that was Game 6. I remember I was watching that game. Yeah, because we had already won. Yeah. We played our Game 6 the night before. So I'm just watching the game, seeing who we're going to play. Dallas outshot them something ridiculous, like 36-12.
Right.
And Edmonton won 2-1.
That's crazy.
And I'm like, it is crazy. I said, no, Dallas should have won that game. There should have been a Game 7 in Dallas. And then, whatever happens, happens.
Right.
So I'm not really buying into the Edmonton hype this year. Not that they're not a great team, not that they're not a contending team, but I just don't see them coming out of the West this year. I think it's going to be Dallas after that loss and the way it happened. I think they're going to come out, and I'm picking them to win the West this year.
Oh wow, that's my next question. So Dallas win the West. Who wins the East this year? And be unbiased.
Unbiased. Florida Panthers.
Okay.
I pick us. There are teams more skilled than us. There are teams with better goaltending than us. There are teams with better defense than us. But the Panthers have been good enough in all aspects of the game to put forth that really strong team game.
Okay.
That's why I'm thinking of that. And watching the Rangers and Devils in the Metro this year, it's going to be a dogfight. And the Atlantic Division's not really offering up that much. I mean, I hate to sound like I'm coming off as arrogant or anything, but I'm looking at the rosters and all the moves this year and looking at this Atlantic Division. How can the Panthers not win?
Right. I mean, the Panthers win the East. Look at the numbers. That tells you that. Give me a team in the West though to look out for. Maybe this may be the team that win the West, whatever. But give me a team in the West to look out for. Give me a team in the East to look out for.
Nashville in the West, absolutely. And I hate this guy with the fire of 1,000 suns. Steve Stamkos, he was the big free agent get for the Nashville Predators. They made the playoffs last year. They made some noise as an 8 seed. They pushed Vancouver to 6 games before they went down. And one of those games they should have won. They blew a 2-goal lead in 2 minutes. Very uncharacteristic of their goalie, UC Saros, who's one of the best ones in the league. Mm-hmm. I thought there should have been a 7th game. I don't know if they could have won, but their biggest problem was lack of scoring punch. And they went out and got Marchessault from Vegas, and they went out and got Stamkos, who had been the captain of the Lightning for the last 10 years.
Right.
So I'm like, Nashville's got some offense now to go with that defense and goaltending. So watch out for them Preds in the West. The East is a little tougher to pick. A surprise team. A lot of people are picking the Devils, but they're not really a surprise.
Right.
They didn't make the playoffs last year, but that roster is loaded, and they got hit so hard with injuries last year. That's why they basically just fizzled out and didn't make the playoffs. So I don't think they'll really be a surprise team. I think they're going to be really good. I want to pick Detroit because they've been so close to getting in, cracking that top 8 the last couple of years. And they went out and got some guys this free agency period. So I think it's going to be a race, depending on what happens with this goaltending situation in Boston.
Yeah.
With Jeremy Swayman holding out. I was going to say that last spot may come between Tampa Bay and Detroit, but it might be Boston on the outside looking in if they don't get this this goaltending situation. They claimed a goalie today, and right now Coppersalo is going to be their starter.
Right. Well, for betting's sake here, Nashville is plus 1750 to win the cup this year, and you mentioned Detroit, right?
Detroit right, and
plus 4,000.
Yeah, long shots.
Nice value.
They finished tied. They finished tied for that last playoff spot last year. They lost the tiebreaker to the Washington Capitals, and I think they were like 2 points out the year before. So they've been close. They're like right there. And as the Panthers showed 2 years ago, it doesn't matter if you're an 8 seed. If your goalie's hot and you're playing your best hockey down the stretch,
once you're in.
Who knows? Yeah, exactly.
One last question. Get out here. One last question.
Okay.
So you said you have Dallas in the West. You have your boys Florida in the East. Do the Panthers do it? The repeat?
I mean, it's you're making me go back on my pick. Well, I like to do preseason picks, for the divisions and the conference and the cup. And I got Panthers over Stars in 7 in the Stanley Cup final.
Yeah, I mean, hey, go for broke here, back to back. Okay.
I mean, we got everything. I mean, there's all sorts of intangibles, but we got everybody locked down long term. Team-friendly deals. I mean, Reinhart left like $3 million a year on the table. He was going to get $11 million on the open market. He re-signed here for 8.6 per year because he says, "Hey, man, this is the team."
Yeah. Well,
and when you're getting stuff like that, I mean, things tend to go your way.
I'll tell you what, my hockey fandom went through the roof last year, especially during the playoffs. I'm looking forward to the season. I think it's going to be a fascinating season. All these teams, obviously the Rangers, Panthers, the Stars, the Devils will be back this year. I think Colorado will be in the mix. I think it's going to be a fun year. I can't wait. I cannot wait. I think this is, like I said, you talk about parity in sports.
Yeah,
there's more parity in this sport than any in American.
Right.
And it's not even close. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So anyway, Matt, good job.
Unless you're Montreal or Buffalo, they have no chance.
So Montreal plus 10,000. Buffalo plus 5,000.
Yeah.
Yeah. No playoffs.
No chance.
Right? No playoffs.
No playoffs.
Not Eastern Conference. Anyway, Matt, thanks for coming to the podcast.
Sure.
Plug your handle. Plug anything you want to plug.
I want to plug the PBKC Pick Show. Fantastic show. All you guys should watch it.
Thank you. Watch it today? Did you watch the episode today?
I couldn't today, but it's on the replay. I'm gonna check it out probably tomorrow.
Yeah, Noah was in his element today. It was kind of fun. It was kind of fun, definitely. Matt, good job as always, brother.
Okay. Yeah. Thanks for having me on.
You got it, brother.